Welcome to a self-published author's diary. I am Elodie Novodatsky. I write about first time, second chances, things that scare the crap out of me, and things that make me laugh out loud. I'll be speaking with you and sharing my adventures in self-publishing, the behind the scenes of writing, and the business side of it. And before we get started today, a small message from our sponsor, Anchor. Thanks for listening. Hi, it is Monday, and I know I'm supposed to record this podcast over the weekend, as I've said before, but this weekend has been pretty busy, and we're just coming back from a 2-week holidays in Europe. We went to Germany for the first time since 2017, so it was great to catch up with friends and family. We also went to France to see my family for a couple of days, and it was just great. As I said, Germany, it's been 5 years between my treatments and the stem cell transplant and then the pandemic and everything. It was a long time coming. But that also means that when I got back, I had jet lag because, well, first of all, I'm no longer 20 and I always had jet lag. But then in addition, when you add, I think with the stem cell transplant and everything, my body is just more, it takes a little bit more time for it to get over the jet lag. So when it comes to writing, it was a bit complicated. So I'm going to jump right into the topics of today, so when it comes to productivity in those cases, what I had to do was go back to the basics. And the basics for me is the Pomodoro method. I've talked about it on the podcast before. Again, if you don't know what the Pomodoro method is 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of break, 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of break, 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of break, 25 minutes of work, 20 minutes of break. And that is just one way for me to be able to get back into writing when I can't really bring myself at the beginning to even turn on my computer. Because sometimes when you want to write, you have this moment where just turning on the computer is what you need to do, right? And unless you do it, well, you're not going to be writing, but it takes the time. So the Pomodoro method is one way for me to actually get back into the gist of thing. And it was very helpful because I needed to write my Kindle Vella episode for Friday. I publish a Kindle Vella episode every Friday. And because my bonus in March, and that's where I'm going, I like the transition for that one. Since I'm going to be talking about the Kindle Vella Bonus that I got for March, I also am a bit definitely motivated to keep going on my Vella stories. If you don't know what a Vella story is, I've mentioned it before. It's a serialized stories that you can read on the Kindle app, and you can also read on the computer. And right now it's available for US authors, so for US-based authors, and for US-based readers. As I'm located in the United States, I decided to try it out. And so far, it has been quite good for me personally. So I was expecting a bonus of about $25. And I got a bonus for March of $112, which is much better than what I was expecting. I published 6 episodes in March, and I started at the end of March. I have 1 watcher right now on TikTok. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. And yes, because I have not mentioned this to the podcast, but I'm currently recording this episode live on TikTok. My first time ever. I'll let you know how it goes at the end. So I had 31 episodes read. Out of those, 13 were locked episodes read. And I had at the time only 5 story photos. So 5 story photos is not a whole lot. And 6 episodes, I did not think that I was going to receive that much in terms of bonus. But since I did, I want to make sure that right now I'm capitalizing on that particular avenue. I'm not going to be expecting to receive the same amount for April just because, again, since I don't know how Amazon weighs the bonus, I cannot be sure that in April, even if I do the exact same or if I do double of what I did in March, I don't know if that's going to be actually sufficient or what Amazon is waiting to have when it comes to the bonus. So I have my numbers for April so far, which I will share with you. And my April number so far is that I have published 3 episodes. I'm planning on starting a new story by Friday and to publish 1 more episode. And that will be a total for April of 6 episodes. My stretch goal is 7 episodes. I have right now in April 188 episodes read, including with those 104 locked episodes read. My total thumbs up of 84 right now, and my total photos for the story is 32. 32 people are following my story on Kindle Vella, which I am publishing under a pen name. So the only marketing I've done so far is to create a new TikTok account, and for that particular pen name, and to actually just post videos. I do flip pages videos. I've done a couple of duets, but that hasn't really gathered a lot of views. The page flips videos have worked for me when it comes to the Kindle Vella story. My latest 2 videos, I had 750 views and a lot of likes. And the one prior to that, I had 1,300 views, a lot of likes, and a question asking, hey, what is the name of the story? Because I had forgotten to add as a comment what the name of the story was. So that's what I'm doing right now. And the goal that I had for April was to get 20 follows, because in March I had 5, and I figured, okay, let's try to have 20 by the end of April, and I currently have 32. So this is, again, exceeding my expectations. I do write steamy romance for Kindle Vella, so I'm sure this genre may be popular with the serialized readers, which works out great for me. And the plan is still for me, after the time has elapsed where I need to keep the story on Vella, I will then move the story, or not move it, but also add it to Kindle Unlimited as a paperback. So the other topic of today is not only Kindle Vella, but it's also getting back into Sweets for Love, which is the rom-com that I'm still writing and that I'm publishing under my name, Elodie Novodatsky. Again, I will have all the links in this episode's description, not the one for my pen name. If you want my pen name, you have to write me an email. But when it comes to my other stories, I'm also focusing right now on not adding any marketing money to it yet. I am actually just I'm doing an experiment this week where I looked at The Leftover Bride, which is on Kindle Unlimited. And at the beginning of the week, the ranking was 840,000 on Amazon.com, which is pretty low. But I'm doing TikTok videos every day for my Swans Cove Romance series TikTok account. And I'm going to try to see if my ranking does improve, meaning do people actually borrow the book based on my social media posts. So far, 2 days ago, the ranking actually went to 167,000, which I found was pretty cool. And then it went down again to 400,000 yesterday. I haven't checked it yet today. And when it comes to drafting Sweets for Love, my goal is to finish drafting it by mid-May, because then I also got hired for an audiobook. I'm also an audiobook narrator, as you can tell, as I'm like stumbling through the words. I'm also an audiobook narrator when it comes to French books and language learning books, especially English French. So that's one way for me to also earn extra income, and I am booked on May 15th to start an audiobook. So I want to finish Sweets for Love by May 15th. I am still using a lot of drafting, books that I usually use. I'm also looking at the Elana Johnson's book. I'm looking at Save the Cats books. I'm going back again here to the basics for me about plotting. So I'll keep you updated, but I think it's going well. The only thing I'm not doing for this one is I'm not using Scrivener, which I did use for The Leftover Bride. I maybe should have had, because I'm writing out of order, but we'll see how that works. And then I wanted to share with you something new that I've learned when it comes to Amazon ads and gathering the keywords for the Amazon ads. Brian Cohen had is 5 days ads challenge for Amazon. And he mentioned in one of the videos, I was not able to watch all the videos because, again, I was on holidays, but he mentioned an instant data scrapper, and I will add the link to this episode's description. I have not learned how to use it yet, but this is something I'm interested in looking at when it comes to Amazon ads, because sometimes I'm at loss when it comes to other keywords. You're supposed to use, based on his method, you're supposed to use, I think it's more than 100 keywords. And sometimes it's hard to not always use the same ones. So that's something I'm looking forward to try out. And then, as in the episode's description, I will as well add links on how to help Ukraine and other links that I may have found interesting this week. And this is me for now. As I said, I'm back. I'm going back into my schedule. I am looking forward to writing both Sweets for Love and my Kindle Vella stories. I think this live on TikTok, I'm talking to TikTok right now, where I still have one viewer. Thank you. He's the one, I think, or she's the one who stayed, or they're the one, I don't know, who stayed constant. So thank you for watching. And I had people coming up, and it's very hard for me to know how to interact when it comes to the live. So I might try to do more lives during the week on TikTok, but when it comes to recording the podcast, I think it's a nice way of doing it. So if you're not listening to the podcast on Spotify or Apple or anything, you can also watch it on my TikTok. If you would like to subscribe, review, become a monthly subscriber to my podcast, the links are on the episode's description and on TikTok. And yeah, if you have any questions about writing or self-publishing, there is also a link where you can leave me a voicemail. Don't hesitate to also send me a message or a comment, and I'll try to answer. Oh, and I also want to add that Megan Carter has finished narrating Trust Me, Trust Me Not, and I have it now available as an audiobook. I also have the entire Garrett CD so far available as an audiobook, and I'm going to share with you now a little excerpt of Trust Me Not, narrated by Megan Carter, available on Audible, Amazon, and Apple.
I jog up the stairs of the lecture hall, make my way through the sea of students gathering and chatting and laughing in the hallway, and storm out of the psych building towards the English building. I pause, catching my breath. I turn to the path I usually take. It's much longer. It can take me up to 10 minutes to walk from one building to another, but it's by one of the libraries and a coffee cart, and there are always people standing around or catching up or going to study. I turn the other way, the narrow alleyway, a shortcut, almost always empty. Like today, there's only a few students around. My muscles tense. If I don't take the shortcut, I'll be late. Again. I ignore the creepy feeling tingling down my spine. I can do this. I'm 20 years old. I'm not afraid. The boogeyman may have been real, but he's in jail. I count to 3 in my head and dash, ignoring the shadows reflecting on the walls, ignoring the stares of the 2 students who step out of my way, ignoring the thumping of my heart. No one is following me. It takes me less than 5 minutes to get to the open space. I put my hands on my knees and exhale before straightening back up with a smile on my face. I almost do a happy dance. It feels like a small victory, and I'll take all the victories I can. And I might still make it on time to my intro to Shakespeare class if I sprint. I swerve right and slam into a tree. Whoa! The tree has a voice I'd recognize anywhere. A voice that stars in my dreams and saves me in my nightmares. Hunter, I whisper as I flail and stumble backwards. That victorious feeling was short-lived. I'm going to smack the floor and everyone will stare again. I shouldn't care. I shouldn't. I brace myself for the impact, but his strong arm wraps around my waist, saving me once more.
And I just wanted to say happy writing if you're a writer, and to everybody, happy reading.